Alright, here's the video farm tour for Thursday, August 2nd. The weather has been super sunny and hot for the last 2 weeks, but just cooled off today and got a little overcast, so perfect for shooting video. There's the potatoes. We've harvested 2 varieties. We have 4 more varieties to go. Those will be more for the fall. They're going down, but not quite yet. Peppers are looking nice. We've been harvesting padrones. Everything else is still starting to color. It looks like we've got some Jimmy Nardellas in there, which we'll probably be harvesting next week. Tomatoes are outside tomatoes. Just harvested a handful of tomatoes, including 2 totally crazy ones, a 2¼ pounder and a donut shaped, the first donut shaped tomato I've ever seen, complete with a hole right through the middle. Got the fall plantings of kale and collards and kohlrabi and cabbage, all look like they're doing pretty well. Some empty beds here. We stripped down the leaves really hard on the spring planted collards and kale, see whether or not that'll come back in the fall as well. Still harvesting just a little bit off of the Lacinato Rainbow. That one's holding up better than the other 2. Getting through the lettuce plantings. Lettuce has been a little thin this week, mostly from germination problems in the greenhouse, but and that was happening a few weeks ago. But we are starting to catch up over here. So these blank beds right here are going to get fall brassicas like radishes and turnips. And then we started planting the fall lettuces over in this section, and we got a bunch of 2 beds of chicories, so sugarloaf and radicchio and escarole in just on Monday. The corn, beans, and squash is looking great. Definitely my favorite place to hang out on the farm is kind of right on the edge of this field. Just filled in, beautiful jungle. And you can see so we have some bush varieties of beans kind of down on this end, so they're not climbing the corn. And then over on this end, you can see the beans climbing right up the corn stalks and pulling them down in a couple of cases, but looking good. Started the eggplant harvest in earnest today. That was great, and I've been sampling some of the really early ones here. This Tsakoniki, I think, is the variety. Really sweet, tasty eggplant. Basil's still going strong in the hoop house. Had a really nice harvest of tomatoes today. The cucumbers, I'm going to take you in here. Tasty Jade has been producing decently well relative to the way the plants look. So the plants have been showing quite a bit of mildew, and but they're still going. Sneak out through the side of the hoop house here. So I cut off the water to the onions and shallots and letting them start to dry down a little bit. They're decent size, and we've been harvesting a little bit off of that. Still watering the leeks over here on the edge of the field. We'll save the harvest on those until the fall. Turn around here. U-pick flowers are looking really nice. It's still got good culinary herbs in there. The cherry tomatoes for U-pick for the CSA members are all ripening up really nicely. Good trusses of fruit. This variety in the front here always has really, really great looking trusses, and looks like all the cherries are looking pretty good. I'll walk up here now past the chard, which just got harvested today. Last week we went to harvest the chard, and it was coated in black aphids on the underside of the leaves, just solid black aphids. And went back and looked at it this week, and the ladybug larvae had completely cleaned it up by Monday, and today even the signs that were still there on Monday aren't there anymore. So really amazing job by the beneficial insects. nothing we introduced. I mean, they just are there. So parsnips are looking good. We harvested some celery last week, and that's looking good. We just took the outside leaves to kind of clean up the plants a little bit. Got to hilling both the celery and the celeriac right here. Basil down at the end there looks good. I just seeded some summer cover crop, some Sudan grass in that bed. That was carrots earlier today, and we finished harvesting that bed of carrots. These two beds of carrots have been some of the worst hand weeding we've had all year, but made it through those two beds, kind of going back for a little bit more now, but they should be ready in the next few weeks. Seeded some more cover crop in that left bed, taking advantage of this short little cool stretch to seed some spinach over there, just to the left of the irrigation, and to the right of the irrigation on Monday I seeded 2 beds of carrots, so some extra carrots for the fall. We'll see how those do. Here's the overflow of the leeks, next bed of leeks. Summer squash has been okay, not fantastic. Same with the cucumbers. I think it's a little bit shady down on this end of the field, so that may have something to do with it. But those, we're getting them. We're getting just enough to put a few in this year. This is beets, fall beets that are coming up. Those were seeded last week, and we just replanted, so the bed of fennel there in the middle, about half of that died after planting 2 weeks ago, but we had plenty of plants left over, so just plugged some more in. There's the fall parsley going right there. This is a chard that I had mowed down. This was the spring planted stuff, and it was also covered in aphids and whitefly, and I mowed that pretty much to the ground, and now it's coming back. Beets, which we've gone through once and harvested, and we'll clear that bed next week probably. The bush beans, we finished harvesting those a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and now we've moved on to the pole beans, which are Romano type, really tasty. We got the next seeding of beets, which is looking nice. There's a little bit of leaf miner in there that we should go through and pull out, but other than that, it's looking pretty good. So that is what is happening on the farm right now, and not much in the greenhouse, so I probably won't do a greenhouse tour this month. See you again next month.